This is Ipswich Marina, Neptune, and I've bought a Sigma 36 which I hope to sail all the way back to Anglesey to the Menai Straits. But it's a racy boat and it's got none of the lazy jacks or the roller furling or anything else. It's the type with running backstays, and there's not even a topping lift. I'm using one of the running backstays as a topping lift here. So it's a bit of a challenge. It's quite a few hundred miles, and I've yet to sort out the autopilot. There's a part missing which I hope to get tomorrow and set off as soon as possible, because sun's setting now. It's only 20 past 7 in the evening, so it's going to go well some longer nights. So I'm hope to be off soon. Come along for the ride. Just been locked out of the marina now, dropping down. This is my boat in Suffolk Yacht Harbour, Leamington, and its view has been blocked by this big motor cruiser here, unfortunately, and Felix still in the back, and you can hear all the noise and the activity over there. The place never sleeps, I don't think. Just heading down the Orwell now, and that's Felix still ahead. I've got the main up reefed and just ticking over, really, and doing a good speed. The river's ebbing at the moment. I'm heading down the Black Deep towards the Fisherman's Ghat, and this is the London Array wind farm here. I finally got the head sail up now. It's the smallest one on the boat, and we're still doing a good speed here, I think. And this is the Fisherman's Ghat, and I can see North Foreland in the distance. It's about 13 miles away now, I think. Yeah, I was heading for Ramsgate, and one of the bowlines came undone off the jib, and the sheet loosened enough to fall further back into the water and around the prop, as it usually does. So what happened then, I decided to sail alone into Margate, anchor off Margate, and put the wetsuit on and dive in and undo the rope. But then I thought, shall I just have a go at starting the engine again and putting in reverse, and it's a folding propeller, so it just came loose. So I thought it was a good idea to go to Margate anyway and anchor off there. I'll see, I've never done that before. So I'm just sailing up the coast now from Broadstairs up towards Margate. Well, it's just going dark now, and this is Palm O Bay off Margate, and this is where I am for the night, and I hope it gets a better favourable wind tomorrow. It's okay here, 5 metres of water now. There's a bit of a swell here, but it's better than bashing into the tide and the southwest wind. Tacking out in the Dover Strait now. It's quite a stiff west wind. I'm just trying to get, there's another ferry coming out now. Trying to get past the ferry route, and I'll tack back in further west. I've still got the tide, plenty of tide left with me. The boat sails very well to windward. I'm quite happy with it, but I just wish I had a bit freer wind though to head west. This is anchored off Dungeness, and I was here last night. It seems a long way offshore it is, because the water is quite shallow further inshore there, and that's the power station, Dungeness power station, and that's where I'm going to go around this morning, past there, one little fishing boat over there. And yeah, it's force 4 they say, but it's decreasing through the day, and there's a promise of easterlies, so later in the week. It's at Hastings, from not so far offshore. I've got the tide against me now. I've got the engine on the sail. There's not very, the wind has dropped a lot. The next stage is, I suppose, the background, and actually be able to sail a lot better with the south wind and southeast tomorrow, east from then on. About 5 miles to go to Eastbourne. Got the engine, but I think I could turn the engine off, but it's we're sailing quite well here. Quite nice. And the seas have calmed down a bit now, so we're making better speed too. We're not slowed down by any waves. Not far now to go to Newlyn Harbour, Eastbourne, and apart from the sun setting a little bit, a couple of hours earlier, it's like a second summer, I think, and quite lucky. And easterlies on the northeasterlies forecast tomorrow. I'm blessed. No more beating down channel for a while, a few days. Approaching Beachy Head there now, and everyone's motoring this morning. Everyone going inshore there. Maybe the wind picked up enough to sail this afternoon, because it might be a motoring day. Coming into the Solent, it's about 10 o'clock I think, and Portsmouth over there, and we're just following the channel down here, and then I'll be heading for Osborne Bay to anchor up there for the night. And this is Ryde over here. Cruise ship just passing where I've just anchored. Just coming up past Cows here, lots of boats out, past about 20 yachts already, and there's a lot out in the Solent. It's not what I'm used to in the part of the world where I come from. This is Yarmouth in the very busy harbour in the evening. Another sunset, and heading down towards the West Country, and I'm heading for Dartmouth because there are some strong winds in the forecast now. They were talking about 5 to 7s and possible 8 as well later, so the later is encouraging. So I'm going to be sailing overnight tonight, and there's about 36 and a half miles to go to the Dart entrance, and I'll be there at first light, I would say. The tide is against me at the moment, slowing me down. They're getting spring tides now, and they could be quite big spring tides. But when it does turn, it pushes you on really well. And this is it. This is a night at sea, the first night at sea in this boat. I'm in Dartmouth. I got here yesterday morning about 4:45 in the morning, darkness. And this is Kingswear side, and the old steam railway here. now to Dartmouth. Force 4 to 6 forecast today. I'm just heading south now to clear the bank, which is to the east of Start Point over there. This boat's sailing well, just with a little number 4 jib again, and I'll be jibing once I pass that bank, and then we'll be down Start Point. The rest are still coming alongside, and we set off the same time. Well, they were behind me, they caught up when they were more or less level now, approaching Start Point. They're heading for Plymouth as well. I'm just coming into Plymouth Sound now. I've just asked the Mewstone over there, and the wind is a lot lighter this west side of the Start. It's been quite pleasant, really nice little sail. I didn't want to rush anyway because of plenty of tide. And I'm heading for Jennycliff Bay. This is Jennycliff Bay in Plymouth Sound. Plymouth itself up there. I'm just coming in past St Anthony's Head now. It's 7 PM and I'm just about scraping by. The tide's quite strong against me. This is the lighthouse here, and St Maur's is just around the corner, and I'll just get anchored up before it goes dark. There's Falmouth in the distance. In the later 90s, I was bringing a boat down from Anglesey to Plymouth for a fellow I just sold it to, and I just had a little walk up these houses and the trees over there. There was a small chalet for sale at £20,000, and I'm sure there's one of those now has been knocked down and built more substantial house, and you can only guess the value of those houses these days. This one's anchored up here behind the Lizard. This isn't such a scary close encounter as you might think. You're not going anywhere. I just got to get past it, and the tip of the Lizard is just behind the sail there. Yeah, there we go. This is it, the southernmost point of Britain, and Lizard, the tip of the Lizard, and all the jagged rocks to the south of it there, which you want to avoid if you can. Got the tide with me, which is just as well. It's still a big spring tide. This is St Michael's Mount, and here we got approaching Newlyn here, about another mile or so, I think. Plenty of daylight left. Taking my time. Coming a bit closer to the harbour entrance now. A lot of fishing going on in the bay. There's a lot of mackerel coming in the small boats. Right on the end of the berths here, and I've had to move once. Quite a few boats going out, fishing boats. That's the Armed Knights there on Land's End, the hotel at the top there, and on the port side I've got long ships, and I'm on a 115-mile trip up to Milford now, and it's the first time I've been heading north now in close on 400 miles from Ipswich. It was southeast to start with, and I didn't even get past Greenwich Meridian until more or less along to Brighton, so it's nice to head west then and to finally head north now towards home. Here's the Longships again, and the Kettle's Bottom there, which is, I've seen some fins. I think they were dolphins, or I have seen some tuna further down near Dodman, and they were telling me in Newlyn that there's some tuna about as well, but they're not allowed to commercially fish them here. Sennan Cove over there, I just zoomed it, I can't keep it still. I can see the lifeboat on the slip. This is Dale, Milford Haven. He came in here about lunchtime, and 24.5 hours from Newlyn. Winds 4 to 6, well 6 a lot of the time. On the quarter first, and then veered round to Close Reach up to here. You'll see some of the footage. I'm going to be here for a few days, I think. Storm force 9, maybe tomorrow. Coming up to Jack Sound here. We're right through the sound now, Crabstones to port, and you can see Ramsey Island in the background over there. Into Ramsey Sound now, and there's the outer rock of the beaches, and the tide's really sluicing past the RSPB warden's house up there, and the little jetty where you can go ashore. It's a great walk around there. There's one of these fast rides boats that have just come in there now. That's a good experience as well if anybody wants to do that. The tide's really pulling me now. You just have to go in a bit, because you have to, there's a rock on the other side called Horse Rock, and that is very shallow there as well. So not long to go before sunset, and I've left St David's Head behind down there, and under the boom here there's Strumble Head, where Fishguard is behind the headland there. And the boat's doing okay, not flying along because I've got the same sail area as I would have in a 4.6. I just can't be bothered to change sails, and there's too much work. Go for a roll of furling gear and lazy bag. The main's particularly awkward because when you release the halyard, the whole thing drops on the deck. It's a rope luff and it just spills out to the mast. That needs modifying. But she's going alright, and there's a night at sea now, heading up towards Bardsey. This Bardsey, I came round as it was getting light, and past there now, Bardsey Sound. I'm heading up towards Porthinside, which is about 12 miles away now, I think. I've got a couple of hours of tide. Probably be pushing against it towards the end. Just coming around the corner now into Porthinside. I'm motoring over now from Port Line and going across to Llanwyn Island, and I can just pick up the beacon on Llanwyn Island over there. It's been a very murky crossing and couldn't see very much. I was just looking at the chart plotter and yeah, it's only about 4. This is it, and a bit of a swell coming in, but it might just flatten off in a couple of hours. The wind's changed direction now, what there is. Tomorrow morning I'll be going into the Straits and to the boatyard, and that's it. That'll be the end. This is Carnarvon, passing now, heading down towards Vellinhelly. Here I'm coming up to Vellinhelly, and this is the end of the trip for me, and the boat will be on a cradle then for the winter, and I've just got to do a bit of tidying up here and try to fold these sails. That will be fun by myself. Well, the sails are off, and managed to fold them up quite easily. There wasn't any breeze, fortunately, and everything's all squared away, ready, all the ropes ready for when I go into the hoist in the morning. And there's a forecast of strong wind and rain, so it'll be oilskins on again just to go into the slip. This is the boatyard and the slipway at DNS in Vellinhelly, and I've got a cradle for it to put it to sleep for the winter, and there's always next year. And thanks for watching all the way through if you did, and stick with me, even subscribe and get a notification.